Hey everybody, I'm back. This is part 2 of our Pokemon Platinum Let's Play. Um, as you can tell, I am in the exact same spot that I was at the end of the last part. However, I have spent a little bit of time in game. Basically, I've just been getting Moron up to speed. He's not level 2 anymore, as you can pretty obviously tell he's level 7. I didn't really spend that much time, just a little bit running around on the previous route. Definitely didn't explore anywhere new or do any extra stuff like that. So now let's just go ahead and wander around the city. So I think we're supposed to go to the trainer school. So let's just pop in here. You can fight these two people right here. Interesting battles. They're not really that hard, but you know, they're just little extra things to do. Since I'm higher level, this should basically just be a gimme battle, like just win automatically, but you know, still gotta go through the motions. Man, I feel sorry for this little girl. She has one female level 6 Bidoof. That's just sad. It's like the worst Pokemon team ever. Oh man, someone's getting fancy over here using potions. That's what I'm talking about, critical hit. Okay, and her Bidoof is dead. Her potion basically did nothing thanks to my lucky critical hit. And there we go. Decent way to level 8. Go ahead and enter the next battle. Let's see, blah blah blah. Okay, now we're gonna fight this guy. I think he's a little bit tougher, I'm not sure. Yes, by default, a little bit tougher. Not a Bidoof, tougher. It's pretty impossible to be. Ooh, okay, well that's bothersome. Oh well, I'm not gonna use Growl because there's no point. I think, yeah, I got this. Should, hopefully. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, sitting at 1 health. Okay, beat that guy, and Moron should me level up this. Okay, perfect. Yep, there we go, beat that. Oh, well, thanks for letting me use this potion properly. Good lord. That's the only thing I don't like about these trainer schools is they insist on just, you know, just meaningless prattle. Okay, so we're gonna come down over here, talk to this guy. Hey, here's your parcel. Here we go. And now we have our town map. So, we can use that, and by use that I mean I will never use that ever. That's probably a lie. I'll probably end up using it at some point, but it's really not that useful. It'd be kind of useful if you haven't played in a while, or if you are just apt to getting lost. But for someone that's played the game as many times as I have, and also remembers the region reasonably well, there's no reason to use the map. Besides, once you get Fly, that basically functions as a map anyways. So yeah, okay, now we gotta come up here, and this guy's gonna, you know, creep on us. Oh, I don't have a Pokewatch, Poketch, that, you know, whatever. That, interesting terminology to use there. Now we have to come find these clowns. Interesting campaign. It's definitely memorable, so this is also an excellent example of more mashing A through dialogue. Hopefully you weren't trying to read any of that. He's basically just, they ask you very simple questions about the Pokemon games. If you get it wrong, you can just try again, and it's kind of to be informative, let you know a little bit about the games. Like, oh, Pokemon hold items, because you probably wouldn't have tried that yet, unless you knew about it from Gold and Silver. Now here's the last guy, talk to him. Yep. And see, that is a very important mechanic. If you attack with a move that's the same type as your Pokemon, it does 1.5 times the damage. So like, let's say that my Piplup uses Pound, which is a normal type move. It has a base power of... wrong person. Has a base power of 40. If Piplup was normal type as opposed to water type, then it would essentially have a base power of 60. It'd still say 40, but whenever I use the attack, it would get a 1.5 times modifier. It's called same type attack bonus or stab. If you are new to Pokemon, that's what most people have ended up calling it. I don't know if that's like an official name or if that's just one that's fan created, but it's pretty official at this point. That's what everyone uses as the term. So, you know, that's basically that. So now, this is the reason why I've leveled up Bidoof, just because I don't want to only have one person coming into this battle. So here's our rival, and he's finally decided to, you know, really be a rival and hassle us throughout our entire journey to fight him. Because that's what a rival's job is. So here's his Starly, level 7. Nice, good, we're level 8. It's a good start to already be higher level. Okay, he's using Growl, that's a little irritating, but not too bad. I can always use it on him as well, and that'll just make the battle take forever. So let's go ahead and do that. This is just, I'm on the edge of my seat right now. This is just a nail biter. Who is going to win? Man, this is intense combat right here. This is like a Magikarp Splash Attack Showdown or a Metapod Harden Fest. Also, if you don't get either of those references, you're once again probably new to Pokemon. They're just Splash is an attack that does nothing. It's all Magikarp has until I think level 10 now, and maybe level 15 that it learns Tackle. And then Metapod is notorious whenever you catch it in the wild for only knowing Harden. That's why anytime you want a Metapod, catch a Caterpie first. Otherwise, it won't have any attacks. Yeah, there's just some, I guess, inside jokes to the Pokemon community. But yeah, they're really not that important. So it doesn't really matter. I think, yeah, I'm gonna win. Now it's just, you know, gonna take absolutely forever to finish this battle up. But at least all of my incessant growling has caused him to do 1 point of damage to me each time, so that's nice. Also, if he gets me, okay, never mind. Well, that just completely invalidates what I was about to say. I was gonna say if he gets me too low, I'm gonna switch out to Piplup because I need my Bidoof to be reasonably healthy to help me beat Turtwig. I'm gonna switch to Piplup right now. You may be thinking that doesn't make any sense because he's type effective against me, and while that is true, a little nice strategy thing you can do is if your Pokemon has a lot of status changing moves used on it, like whenever his Starly used Growl on me 700 million times, if you switch him out with another Pokemon, all status changes go away. Unfortunately, if you have any positive ones, that will also make them go away, but there are moves like Baton Pass and things such as that that'll allow you to pass on the positive effects to the next Pokemon. But yeah, it's mainly useful if you're confused, it'll get rid of confusion, or if there are any negative stat changes that are really bothering you, it'll get rid of that as well. So yeah, there's not really much I'm gonna go ahead and try Bubble and see how bad that is. There's not really much reason to switch my Bidoof right now, especially since he's been raising his own defense rather than lowering any of my stats, so Bidoof won't fare any better than Piplup anyways, so I might as well just go through with Piplup and try and level him up. Man, this Turtwig is super annoying. I usually have a Starly here, but that's not on the game plan this time. Let's see, okay, we're at about 10 minutes. That's an awful start. I thought we'd be a little bit further than that by now. yeah, so because of that, I'm going to not go heal until I clear everybody out of this route. That's what I usually do. Yeah. I usually heal right after this and heal a lot during this route. Whenever I play on my own, I try to stay as healthy as possible, just because there's no reason to like accidentally die from not paying attention or, you know, being low on health when you could easily go heal. So if you're having to go through like large amounts of area or just like huge caves and all that kind of stuff, then, you know, obviously that's not a good idea because of all the battles you'll get through. Even if you just try to flee the whole time, you're apt to get hurt at least a little bit. So in those cases, it's not really great. It's it is. It's gonna hurt. It is okay in routes like this though, because there's not that much grass. You can get from any trainer to the Pokemon Center without probably without going more than like, I'd say 3 battles max. If you're walking. If you're running, it may be a little bit more because running increases the chance to run into wild Pokemon, if you didn't know that. So yeah, Bidoof may have died there. I don't really care. That's actually a positive thing because, as I've said before, I'm only really using him for this intro part just so I'll have an extra guy on hand. And more of like his healing fodder than anything else. If I'm in a tough jam in a battle and I need to heal, I can switch out and heal, or if, heaven forbid, Piplup faints, I can revive by throwing Bidoof out. So, I know that's kind of the exact opposite of what's going on right here, but I forgot to switch Pokemon before battle. That's the only reason. That's legitimately the only reason. Another good thing that he could have been used for is if I'd had Piplup out and I'd been doing damage, I could have switched out whenever Kricketot was about to hit me with Bide and let Bidoof take that hit. That's actually, if you have the right guys on your team, you can do some finagling around with Bide to make it not do any damage, if you don't mind having the experience. Sorry, halving, like cutting in half the experience. Because you can, if you have a ghost type on your team, you can switch out the ghost type. Bide is a normal type move, and even though it is based directly on the damage taken, I'm pretty sure, like all normal moves, it just won't affect a ghost type. So you can switch out to a ghost type right whenever they're about to deal damage and their attack will fail because he's ghost type. So, no damage, but that's not really important most of the time. And Bide isn't very commonly used later in the game, so you don't really have to worry about it. It's more of a early game problem to deal with. Especially because of all the Kricketots. Man, my hand just seized up. Okay, let's get over here. Okay, she doesn't want anything. There's nothing up there, so I'm gonna come like this guy. Yeah, I also know I did just heal when I said I wasn't planning on healing originally, but considering how shafted I got from that fight, it would have been kind of stupid not to go heal, especially considering how easily available it is. I mean, I know I've said there's not really much negative that can happen from not healing, or from losing in battle, but I mean, it's a waste of time, and I'm trying to move along as quickly as possible, and we're already almost at 15 minutes, so I don't really want to have to waste any time. I'm trying to get to the first gym today, if possible. Which shouldn't be too bad. Once we get through this area, and if I can remember to start using Piplup more, I think level 9 is a pretty good stopping point for Bidoof, at least for now. Once we get past this area, since Piplup is water type and will likely start leveling up a little bit better, he's going to pretty much destroy the first gym by himself, as well as the entire first city by himself, just because he's water type. And the first gym and most people in the first town are rock type, so. Okay, that is not a good sign, but it should be okay. Ah, good lord. I didn't remember Piplup being this bad early game, but I guess it has been a while since I've played through the game with Piplup. He was the guy that I played through first, and then most of the times, I'd say probably about 85–90% of the times that I played through the game after that, I played through with a Chimchar. This is about the, I'd say, 6th time that I've played through Platinum, but I did play through Diamond and Pearl a ton. Oh, that's another thing that I really enjoyed about this game, as well as Diamond and Pearl. They had semi-random trainer paths programmed in, whereas in most of the games, trainers are either completely stationary or they move on a very specific set path that you can watch them for like 2 seconds and figure out what their path is, and then it's pretty easy to avoid them. In these games, and I don't remember noticing this in Black and White, so I'm not sure if it's there or not. I don't remember specifically noticing it. There are trainers that will just like wander around on a path that isn't like very specifically set in these games. It's more realistic, and it's kind of more visually pleasing as well, as weird as that sounds. Just to not see someone just walking like in an L shape back and forth, it's pretty nice. Like that girl, I know she only moved in those few blocks and it looked kind of like she was gonna walk around in a square. I've seen her all over this patch of grass, so she kind of just like wanders around. I'm not really sure what the % chance of her going in certain directions or going onto certain tiles is, but she pretty much just wanders around this patch of grass. So it's a pretty nice touch. Yeah, just one of the subtle things that has been made as an advance in Pokemon games that I really appreciate. I don't know if other people do. Feel free to leave your feedback about that as well, actually, in the comment section. I would be interested to know about all that, just to see how my opinion relates to the vast populace. That's like diagonal movement in the new Pokemon games. I don't know if you've been keeping up with any of them or watching any of the trailers. There's a short gameplay demo done by, I think, Pokemon Smash, which is a Japanese game informing show type thing. And it on there they had a little gameplay demo, and they did show diagonal movement right towards the end. I don't know if they were supposed to or not. It seemed kind of like something that was like accidentally done without really thinking about it. Especially since before that they'd made like a big show of like making sure they're running exactly in grid patterns, and their guy looked kind of stupid because he was kind of like starting and stopping his full movement animation like between one square and another. So that looked pretty interesting. But yeah, so diagonal movement confirmed. I know that's really not that big of a deal. It's not really gonna break the game or anything like that, but you know, I enjoy it. It's nice. It's one of those like little aesthetic touches that doesn't really like do anything or mean anything, but it's pleasing to me. So, you know, if you don't like it, then don't play the game. Because I'm sure with it being on 3DS, movement's probably going to be, if not required, it's probably at least going to be able to be controlled with the analog stick. And that means that not moving diagonally would be kind of difficult unless you stop to make 90-degree turns. Yeah. Let's see. Okay. We're also going to evolve before the first gym. Just saying that, just throwing that out there. pretty much just is going to happen. There's not really much choice in the matter. I mean, I could say no, but why say no when you can say yes? I don't remember what that's from, but I always remember thinking that's one of the dumbest phrases I've ever heard in my entire life. Yeah. Had a little bit of a brain spasm there, couldn't remember what I was doing. That's another thing. Whenever I play these, or record these, for some reason I never think to be in a, like, completely restored state. I'm always, like, half asleep, throat sore, like, semi-conscious, in the middle of doing other stuff, and then I'm like, I should probably work on one of these. Also, I know I say that and only have 2 videos out. I worked on recording a lot this weekend, and fucking messed up, like, every recording. I had 3 recordings for Emerald, that just were all messed up. One of them, I actually, like, messed up, and the beginning was really bad. It was a shorter video, and by that I mean I hadn't really done enough for it to be like a real video, but yeah, I was just, that was bad. That was all me. So, well, technically all these were all me, but that one was just all my personality being awful and not being able to think of anything to say. So that one's my fault. I then recorded one without noticing that my microphone was muted. Not the actual microphone, but the microphone input in the streaming program was muted for some audio tests I had been working on, and yep, so I recorded a 30-minute video with no microphone audio, and then I proceeded to also record another one where, these were all on my laptop because I was out of town. I recorded another video where I didn't notice, but for some reason my headset microphone was not being picked up as the default device, and even after setting it to the default device later when I was working on fixing the issue, it was kind of like way off on the audio side of things. So yeah, I ended up scrapping that one as well because it just sounded like garbage. It used my built-in microphone on my laptop, which I really don't even understand why it's there. It's such horrible quality. There's a lot of noise anytime you record anything, and by record I mean anytime I use it as a microphone for voice chat or anything like that. There's tons of noise. You can hear all the keys incredibly loud since the mic is built into the computer. And it was also very quiet because I was kind of sitting back since I had my headset with an incredibly long cord and also my Xbox controller, and that's what I was using to play. I was sitting back pretty far, so you can barely hear me anyways. The game audio is louder than me most of the time, so I know I shouldn't be complaining or, you know, demonstrating my lack of professionalism by telling you how bad I am at recording these videos, but I just felt like you guys should understand that while I'm really not going to have much coming out of this weekend, I put in the effort, and from the amount of effort I put in, I should have gotten to like the 2nd gym badge in Emerald, and I should have gotten probably about to the 2nd gym badge in Platinum as well. Yeah, I'm going to try and keep these two reasonably even between the two. Platinum's my priority, just because since I put those videos out first and it has the intro video and all that, it's more obviously the horrible first video that no one wants to watch. So it's my priority to finish first, and then as I get more accustomed to things, do more Emerald, but I'm going to basically be doing them at the same time. Also, my friend, I don't really know if he wants me to use his actual name or not. His YouTube name is Pidjay, and I am not pronouncing that weird because I don't know how to talk. It's P-I-D-J-A-Y. So I'm just gonna go ahead and throw this out there in case you couldn't guess. His name is Jay. That's all the information I'm giving out on him, but that's his first name. He is currently doing a Pidgey challenge in Pokemon Crystal Emulator. You should go check it out. I'm not gonna put a link in the description just because I'm too lazy for that. But if you go to my channel, I have him as one of my featured channels. I'm subscribed to him, so you can use any of those means to find him. He's doing pretty well. He's gotten, I know he's gotten through the 3rd badge filmed. He has 4 videos on his channel right now. He has through the 3rd badge, and I know he's working on more. His internet connection isn't fantastic. He usually has to go up to the college to actually upload videos, so it's probably going to be a little bit before he puts more out, but I know he's planning on finishing the entire game. All 16 badges, the Elite Four, and fighting Red at the top of Mount Silver. He's planning on finishing all those by, I think it's within a couple weeks. As far as recording, I don't know when he's going to put them out, so he may take longer to put them out, not sure, but you know, that's completely his decision. I'm not going to make any promises for him, so just go check it out, see whenever the videos come out, and you know, subscribe to him. I'm going to go ahead and throw that out there. I mean, you know, he's my buddy, we've been friends for like 10 years, so he's a good guy. He also, he's being a little bit more, I guess, formal about his Let's Play, just from the fact that he's kind of being a little bit more businesslike and not just blathering on like I am, but that just suits his personality better, and it also suits his Let's Play pretty well because he is just doing a quick run. He's doing it on Crystal, so a lot of the time he's emulating it up speed, just to kind of get through all these horrible boring parts. Like, you notice how this is going to be, by the end of this video, there's going to be at least an hour, no, at this point it's over an hour of video of me playing Platinum. I haven't even gotten a gym badge yet, so it's pretty reasonable, especially whenever he's playing in those games, and they have 16 badges, the Elite Four and all that nonsense. Completely reasonable for him to want to speed things up, so his videos are a lot shorter than mine, so if you're bothered by the length of my videos, go check his out. They're a lot shorter and you can probably deal with that better. Yeah, anyways, enough plugging my friends. Actually, no, not enough plugging my friends. So he's coming to visit on his way out to Houston, where he's gonna spend the fall working on some space stuff, so that's pretty cool. He's doing some development for like the space station or whatever. So he's going to be stopping by for a few days. I'm not sure how long. It's probably going to end up being like 4 days-ish or something like that. I just, this last weekend, picked up a Dazzle at Best Buy. I know that's not like the most high quality card or anything like that, but I am going to use that for some like recording of like PlayStation 2, original Xbox, GameCube, N64, stuff like that, things that run on Component. So I'm planning on doing that, and he's going to stop by, and we're going to at least play through one of the GameCube Pokemon RPGs that there were, because you know, we love those games, we played them a lot, very huge fans of them, as well as just the rest of the Pokemon franchise. So we're planning on playing through that. Depending on how much time we have, there may be other games that we would play as well, and it may not just be GameCube, it may also be like some Xbox or PlayStation or something like that, but we should definitely play through XD. We know the game well enough, we played it enough that we should be able to be really comfortable talking through it and not paying as much attention to it, and we should definitely be able to blaze through the entire game in a couple days. Yeah, so that'll happen. That's pretty much the end of the plug for my friend, though. Yeah, so back to what's going on here. Just, you know, if you haven't been paying attention, I walked into town, somebody was like, "Oh, you must be here to fight the gym. Well, let me take you to the gym." And then, you know, Gav is chilling in front of it, and he's like, hey, the gym leader's not here, you should go check the mine because he would probably be there. So of course, you know, you go to the mine, he's there, talk to him, and then he's like, oh, you want to fight me? Okay, well then I'll go back. So just check this guy. Also, there are a couple guys that you can fight here. If you have Turtwig or Piplup, they're incredibly easy because they pretty much all have like Geodudes. If you have Chimchar, not quite as easy depending on what other guys you caught, unless you've managed to hit level 14. Chimchar evolves at level 14, and then he picks up his second type, which is Fighting. And so, if you can get your Chimchar to level 14, which as I've shown you right here is reasonably easy considering I'm just level 15, and even with the extra training that I've done, well, I was going to pull up the menu there, but I ended up getting into a battle. Alright, let's just finish this up real quick so I can demonstrate my point. But yeah, so even with my extra amount of training, this save file isn't very long, and it's obviously possible to get your starter up to level 14 without too much trouble. Okay, well now Piplup decides to evolve, so see, since Piplup evolves 2 levels later than Chimchar, you should definitely be able to evolve Chimchar by this gem. Just saying, just, you know, throwing that out there. So now we have our little Primplup. And he wants to learn a move, Metal Claw, which is actually really great for where we are, because that means that he'll be able to do more damage to the gym. Steel is good against Rock. We're fighting a Rock type gym. I also have Bubble, which is good against Rock, so basically just gonna go in and clean up. Yeah, let's see. So we have an hour and a half. If you can spend an hour and a half between starting the game and getting to the first gem, then you will definitely be able to have your Chimchar as a Monferno, even if you went with Chimchar who isn't type effective against the first gem. Chimchar is a good decision though. He's effective against a lot of the gem leaders, and he's just very good in general. There's a couple items over here I didn't notice. He's very good in general. Fighting is a very good second type. Steel is also a good second type, which is why I really like Empoleon. And admittedly, Torterra isn't bad with the grass ground. He can learn like Earthquake and things like that. So really all the starters in this generation are good, which is remarkable because in the first generation, Bulbasaur's okay. He's not fantastic. He's not bad, but he's not fantastic either. Charmander and Squirtle are great. Second generation, Totodile and Cyndaquil are both really good. Chikorita sucks. He's worse than Bulbasaur. Third generation, the water type's the one that sucks actually, and then the grass and fire ones are good. And then in this generation, they're all good, which is great. Especially because in 5th generation, they're all awful. Emboar's a little too slow to be of much use. Samurott is kind of a glass cannon, and Serperior just doesn't really have the firepower, so all of them have pretty intense problems. Alright, let's see. I'm up here because of this guy, little Ponyta. I just want to catch him real quick, and then since the video is kind of dragging on a bit, actually, you know what, fuck it, I don't really care, it doesn't matter to me at all. After I catch this guy, I'm going to run in, beat the gym, and then after beating the gym, I'm going to cut the video. That's going to be the end of it. I'll train Ponyta up a little bit so that it'll actually be like kind of useful, because it is good. Especially once you invest some time into it, it will be very good, and it will definitely be a central figure on my team. So, you know, gotta put a little bit of time into it. I won't force you to sit through that, so that's why I'm gonna do that outside of the scope of this video. Then I should be catching somebody. I'm not sure how long it'll take. I might even actually do it outside of videos, even though I know that is weird and probably shouldn't be done. But yeah, I will probably I'll try. I'll test something out at a certain point, but let's see. Just after another one of my friends. Yeah, I have an idea of something that might work, but I'll definitely test that before. You know what? Fuck it, I don't need to heal. I'm just going to win. But I'm gonna test that out before I try it on screen. But also, I would totally skip these guys and come back and fight them in the next video. But once you beat a gym leader, all the trainers in his gym just are like, okay, well, we're not gonna fight you. So I don't want to waste free, decent amounts of experience. So I'm gonna go ahead and kill all of them. So sorry it makes the video a little bit longer. But you know, I'm not giving up this experience. This is pretty good experience. Yeah, so especially considering how easy these guys are to beat, I really don't want to like throw away like 500 experience, which really in the grand scheme of things is not much. But earlier on in the game, when I only have one guy at a decent level, it's really important to get as much experience as you can. So if you really don't want to have to fight these guys, or if you want to save time, you can skip them. I would not recommend skipping them. I would recommend fighting them, getting all the experience that they can offer. If you get hurt, just go heal at the Pokemon Center. And if you can't beat these guys, and by that I mean if you can't beat the other guy and then this guy without having to heal, you're going to be in trouble for the gym leader. So it's also a good way to determine if you're ready for the gym leader. See, I just like destroyed both of them with no effort at all, and I don't have to heal even remotely. That means that I'm in good position for the gym leader. Yeah, so if I had, after fighting the two of those guys, if I'd been like completely drained, that would mean that I'm probably not quite ready for the gym leader and probably need to train a little bit. You can always try it, and there's also not really anything wrong with going and fighting the gym leader for experience, especially since trainer battles give you 1.5 times the experience of wild battles, but probably gonna lose. So you would lose money unless you do the kind of cheap thing that I told you about before, where you can just spend all your money before you know you're going to lose. But also, I know I said Metal Claw is good and I would use it in this gym. I'm not going to use it. At least not on the first two guys, because Geodude and Onix both have incredibly high defense and no special defense, so even though Bubble is so much weaker, it still does much more damage. Alright, now I don't remember about this guy, so you know, fuck it, Metal Claw. Oh no, Pursuit. That does damage. Man, I can't wait until I get my Steel type. Steel type is useful, like, beyond anything else. Steel type is useful just for the fact that it offers you so many resistances. Steel type is resistant to almost every type of moves, like fire, ground, and fighting. Yeah, those are the only three that are super effective against steel. There's several ones that do normal amounts of damage to steel, but steel is resistant to a lot of types, and you can't be poisoned if you're steel type. Steel type has complete immunity to poison. I cannot stress that enough. That is one of the best things about Empoleon. He cannot be poisoned. And he gets resistance to grass because of his steel type. Empoleon is fantastic. He is one of the best Pokemon you can use, especially if it's the first time playing through the game. He's very good. Piplup isn't like incredibly amazing at the beginning of the game in comparison to the other two starters, but Empoleon is fantastic later in the game. If you have him and you have like, actually, so I'm going to do this at the beginning of the next video, but I want to go ahead and point it out if I'm in the right house. I think I am. Yeah, so this person wants to trade you Machop for an Abra. don't have Machop right now. I'm going to show you it at the beginning of the next video, even though I have no intention of actually using Machop. And I'm also not going to use that Abra. That Abra is incredible. Its name is Kaza, and it has like max special attack IV or something like that. It's fantastic. It's a very good way to get through the game easier if you're having issues with that. So if you have him and an Empoleon, he covers Empoleon's weaknesses pretty well, and I mean, there's really nothing else that needs to be said about that. It's a very good combination, and it's a good way to get through the game the first time if you're having trouble. Anyways, so I did just beat the first gym leader, as you can see right here. Got my nice badge there, which you can actually, if you can hear that, it's an interesting sound. I'm basically shining it, and if I cared enough, you can shine it to a point where it'll actually like sparkle. It's a lot easier to do that on the actual like DS console with the stylus than it is to do with the mouse, but you know, whatever. Alright, so that's the end of that video. I'm gonna go ahead and cut it there and do a little bit of training, and I will see you guys later. Probably put out another video or two this week.